for a minute that I thought that your water jug was God, and that if I prayed to it and give my devotion to it, as long as I believed that, it's not going to make that any more God than anything else. It's still just a water jug. And so what really matters is what truth is. Is Jesus right, or are other religions right? And so what I would ask you to just consider is, and to think about, just all I can do is ask you to just think about it, is whether what I have told you is truth or not, because the consequences could be serious. Because if I'm wrong, you know, hey, it wouldn't really matter. If I'm right, you could be facing eternal hell before you, and I don't want that for you. And so that's why I would say I just hope you would just consider, just think about it, you know, or what I've said. I know you have different beliefs, but what really matters is what truth is. Because if Jesus is correct in saying that He was the only way, then no matter what other ways we tried to get to heaven, if He's right about that, we wouldn't be able to do any good works to get us to heaven. We'd have to put our trust in Him. Okay? And I appreciate your time. I appreciate the conversation. Did you have something else you wanted to add?
But I think it would be very overly simplistic or maybe naive, because I have heard a lot of people on the square there. I know one guy was raising a flag saying things like, if you have lost, then you go to hell. And he had this thing called, if you are a Hindu, you go to hell. The guy there in the square there, that, you know, those guys, they come to preach there.
Well, I understand. When I went to school here, there were people that did that, and sometimes they can be kind of harsh because they're not really giving a full explanation of what's going on. But just based on what you're saying, he's kind of really saying the same thing. I'm not standing up in front of you yelling and preaching it and pointing it down your throat. But what he was getting at was the same thing I was, is by saying that if you're Hindu, you can't go to heaven. Is what he's getting at. The reason he's saying that is because Jesus said that I'm the way, the truth, the life. No one can come to the Father but by me. He's saying that He's the only way to heaven. Just what Jesus says. And so that's the reason I say just consider what I was saying, and think about it. Because if they're correct, and if He's correct, if Jesus was right when He said that, then you would be on the wrong.
I think because there are different religions, Hinduism, Muslims, different.
And that's the reason I said it. What matters is it doesn't matter what religion you are. What matters is which one is true. You know, if I decide I'm going to be Buddhist, you don't believe Buddhism because you don't support that. You don't believe it. You don't believe in Christianity because you don't believe Christianity to be correct.
Well, I'm not a hardcore, like I follow this religion and other religions are bad, but I think different religions can coexist. I think a Hindu can go to heaven, Christian can go to heaven.
Well, that's the reason I said that we have to understand, because the analogy I used with the water bottle, just because I believe with all my heart, it doesn't matter how sincere I am, the water bottle's not going to save me and give me everlasting life. It's going to matter what truth is. You know, if I make my own religion, so what matters is what truth is. So I hope you would just take time to maybe investigate whether that's true or not, because if Christianity was true, then that would mean that no other religions were correct.
I think it's incorrect that it's only Christianity that is the path to heaven. I think it's incorrect.
Okay.
People from Hinduism, Muslim, I think overall people who do good deeds go to heaven. I think that's my opinion, and I think because I have gone a lot of because I lived in Europe, one of my friend told me, if you don't believe in Jesus, you don't go to heaven. That was his opinion. Well,
we don't go to hell because we don't believe in Jesus. We go to hell because we violated God's commands. God provided a way for us to get to heaven because we've all sinned by trusting in His Son. But believing in Jesus is provided for us. The fact that we've broken God's commands, God's laws, is the reason that we would be sentenced to hell.
I think similar to what you are mentioning and what I have heard around, the same way you committed crime or you committed a sin, but then you have faith in Jesus and you go to heaven. I think a Hindu also who could have committed a crime, not very heinous though, a crime, but he still feels guilty of his sins, he repents for it, and he devotes to a Hindu God, I think he also goes to heaven. So from my point of view, at this time, I don't see myself thinking, oh, Jesus, you got to take me to heaven. I think I'm happy praying.
Okay. Right. Well, I hope you'll just think about it. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate taking the time to speak with us. I thank you.